guys, Jake here at Pear Tree Ranch riding the gray horse, and we're talking about basic horse stuff. We're going to look today at getting our horse to go. So, the first two things after a good standstill are going and then lowing. So getting a horse good at going means we need to have good driving energy. That energy comes from our insides, whether you have an innie or an outie, your baby making parts live down here, and that's where life is created. Some people call it chi, some people call it oomph, you can call it the force. I like calling it the force. That all happens in our guts, okay? So we gotta ride with our guts. Once we get that from settled to let's go, we need to transmit that down our body, through our legs, into the horse, to their feet. First way you're gonna do that, you're gonna think about, it sounds crude, but holding a fart in. You gotta clench your butt cheeks, okay? Don't act like you've never done it. Everybody has. When we squeeze our butt cheeks, that creates that energy. Notice the horse felt it. His ears start looking. What are you doing back there? Once that squeeze starts in my seat, it's going to travel down my legs. My toes are going to turn out. You can't not engage your calf muscles when you turn your toes out. So you got to turn your toes out. That creates a squeeze for my horse to feel. And when all that comes together, they might step off. Now, if you step back a little bit, you guys are going to see, we can also look at, some people want to drive with their legs to get the horse to go. That's not right or wrong. It's just different. So what I showed was squeezing. If you want to bump a horse to go with your legs, make sure that you start as little as possible and build up from there. You're going to get yourself in a lot of trouble one day on accident if you just go, yeah, okay, and in the belly. That didn't ever cause anything wonderful to happen. So you could start with a little bumping and then more. His nose, neck goes, and then his feet can step off, okay? So there's two different ways we can go from squeezing or bumping to get a horse to go. Now, what happens if that leg pressure doesn't work? Then what? We're going to create some herding energy up here. So I'm riding him in these Rommel reins. You could ride with a little stick, a little crop, okay, a little piece of string. You can use your saddle strings if you've got them. And we're going to look at creating this herding energy first. I want you to think about slap yourself first. That way you know how much it feels before you get to slapping on that horse till they move, okay? Now, we need to be aware there's the side of the booty and the top of the booty. The straighter you want them to go, the more on top you need to drive them. If you drive on the side, you're going to step that hip over. Not wrong, but it's going to be less of a straight transition. So if you squeeze and your horse doesn't go, you can slap yourself here. You can slap like this first. See, he kind of knows. And then I can go to the old over-under. Hee-yah! And that gets me riding off. Same thing if I were going to use rhythm in my legs to drive him forward. If I get to bumping and I don't want to bump any harder, I can start getting some herding energy up top. Now, timing can be everything. So if you start going here and then nothing happens and you go, oh darn, and then you start doing this, the horse can't link them together. So you want to make sure that it's a very smooth, fluid transition from, if we're going to squeeze first with our guts, then with our butts, down our legs, toes out, heels in, okay? And then this comes on. I like to think of it like musical scales. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Okay, that it builds progressive. Okay, it's like counting when the child has been inappropriate and they're about to get in trouble. 1, 2, 3, you're grounded. Okay, and you can add as many steps as you want, but there ain't no 2, 2.5, 2 3/4. 1 hour later, 2 63/64. No, it's 1, 2, 3. Here's your consequence. Punishment doesn't work for horses. We're not talking about punishment. So I'm gonna go butt cheeks, thighs, knees, calves, heels, and yeah. okay? So that builds progressively. Hopefully these little ideas help you and your horse get to going somewhere sooner rather than later, because getting your horse to go should just be basic horse stuff.